hotter. Out that flame I came, they try to stop me, straight up block me through that pain. I've gained a newer way, pursue my rays. Look, I don't cry no more. I just load up my mind and let my grind go show. Cause I'm locked in. Every single day I be locked in.
What up, Keevy? Think I'm ready to roll. Let's do this. Messing up stuff.
Sorry, ain't no conforming. They'll know when I come for them. They don't know what I'm forming.
Now we're ready. What's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all coming through. We're going to talk a little bit about what John Harbaugh did, at his press conference today, the kind of things he talked about and the things that stood out to me. As you can see to my, the other way. See to my left, maybe you're right, the topics that I pulled from the presser that kind of stood out to me. And we gonna roll this thing. We're going to roll this thing real quick and go through it and see what I took from it, because he said a lot. But let's get to it and we can see whether it's
stop the cap
or not. But let's get into it and let's dive into the first topic, which is obviously Keaton Mitchell. And well, from what I pulled, it was Keaton Mitchell. They're not necessarily in the order that he talked about them. And then again, they may be in the order he talked about them, but this is the order I put them together for what I wanted to talk about. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. Let's dive right into it. Kiwi, Reedies, Daniel Berry, Blackula, I see you guys. Let's get started.
Keaton Mitchell, last year, obviously coming back from the injury, that's a tough year. You talk about maybe his off-season progress and where you think he may be for next year.
Right. Well, that's a great question. I do think Cliff, he's been on schedule, he's been on track. That was a really tough injury. So the fact that he got back when he did was, to me, almost like miraculous, that he was out there playing it all. I'm almost certain, as much as you can be sure, he's going to be a whole nother level coming back in the spring and then again in the training camp, because he's going to be, a year and a half out of that deal. So this will be his second year. Most knee injuries, it's your second year. This one, I think that's especially true about.
And so with him saying that, I always thought Keaton Mitchell would be the perfect complement to Derrick Henry. I thought just, pounding with Derrick Henry for 2 to 3 quarters and then sprinkling Keaton Mitchell in for no more than about, on a great day, 10 touches. If he get 10 touches and Derrick Henry gets 24, to me that's awesome. That's awesome. And not to exclude Justice Hill, because Justice Hill did a great job on third down, but Keaton Mitchell's explosiveness is off the chain. Yeah, that is Thunder and Lightning. You saw me look. I probably should have waited on this, but I already started now. I probably should have waited on it. But Keaton Mitchell's explosiveness is off the chain. And so, you talking about Thunder and Lightning with Keaton and Derrick? Yes, so, but it is Thunder and Lightning outside too. But yeah, Thunder and Lightning for those two guys would definitely fit, those two. But what he said about Keaton, and we all heard that most of the time when you come back from an injury that great, your second year is normally the year that you kind of, put it all together. And they kind of held him back. I feel like they held him back last year, so maybe that was the thinking why. And the fact that he said that is kind of, a clue as to, I guess I was on the right track with thinking they was kind of being cautious with him to let him, let this year coming up be the year that they really use him, because I felt like he could at least been the all-time kick returner. Maybe not the punt returner, but definitely the kick returner. But let's go on. Let's see what he talked about the second time is the current roster, the state of the current roster.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it, I love the fact that we can line up and play right now. I've heard it said before, and it's a good philosophy. We don't play any games till September, so when you have issues or holes, if you want to call it that, you do have time to get better. But we could play a game right now with our roster. We have a really good roster right now. I love our players. I love our depth even. Not that we can't get better. So what our mission right now is to try to improve, is to try to take it to the next level. And the way the roster is set up, it gives us an opportunity to really to go after the best player we can get. You know, whatever the position might be, to improve our team and make the whole better. So I'm looking forward to the draft. We still have some options in free agency. Keep improving.
Now, I definitely think, like I've been saying it all along for the past 2 or 3 weeks, if you've seen the different videos on the channel, that they were building the roster to go BPA. They want to go best player available, and the way that they've picked up a piece here and a piece there and pulled that back in, and this person come back from injury, you definitely can see them setting up to be best player available, you know, when it comes draft time. So that kind of laments what I was saying earlier. Like, we're gonna build this roster and we're gonna pull, you know, like bring Ben Cleveland back, like Awuzie, bring him in. You know, you got a roster, and you are obviously weak at some spots. Like, you don't have a backup tackle, you only got 2 tackles. You only had 4 receivers, 4 DB, 4 corners before you signed Awuzie. So now you got 5. But 5 still ain't enough. And when I say 5, I don't mean 5 people that can play. I mean 5 bodies on the roster. And with 2, you only got 2 tackles on the roster. Even though Ben can play a little bit of tackle, he ain't a true tackle. And based off some of the words, Ben might end up being the new Pat McCarry. Maybe. But let's kind of go to the next thing he talked about, which was the O-line status. And I kind of, you know, went into it a little bit earlier. Let me get this off my screen. Don't want to jump the gun on it, but
Stanley, just what's the view of the O-line at this point?
Well, I feel good about the O-line right now today. I think, like I said, we could play with 5 starters. We have competition even there, but we can use a couple more guys too, you know, and we'll be looking to bolster the depth, but also bolster the competition in the O-line. But bringing Ronnie back was a huge part of that. We couldn't say that if Ronnie wasn't coming back. If Ronnie had decided to go elsewhere, we would have had to have addressed that in a big way. And I expect Ronnie to even continue to ascend, you know, not just back to where he was pre-injury, but past that now, you know, and just love his mindset, his maturity, his work ethic, his determination to be a legacy type player. You know, I think that's really what he wants to accomplish right now, and that's really important for our team.
Now, if Ronnie had not came back, we'd be in a whole different predicament. We'd be in a whole different predicament. If Ronnie Stanley had decided to go elsewhere and join, you know, the Bills or the Patriots or somebody that threw a little bit more money than him, we'd be, well, I know personally, I'd be panicking. I'd be panicking big time about what the O-line looked like. How's it going to look in the future? Like, you know, are we going to have enough to even protect Lamar? Are we going to have enough to open holes for Derek and whatever running backs is back there? Ronnie coming back was a major, major key, which is one of the reasons that Mina Kimes had the Ravens as one of her best off-season, you know, not pickups, but one of her winning the offseason, so to speak, because of how important Ronnie Stanley is. And y'all know I really, really, really respect the research and the stuff that Mina puts out, because I feel like, unlike some of the other people that be on TV all the time, she do actual research and kind of get her hands dirty with, you know, the football stuff. So I respect the heck out of that young lady. And when she said that and when she explained why she said it, it made a whole lot of sense to me. And I'm not saying we're the winners, but we're definitely up in the top echelon of winning the offseason simply by bringing Ronnie back. Because if Ronnie's not with us, we all in panic mode. And let's keep it a buck. We all in panic mode because, you know, just letting Ronnie go is just it is this.
Dumb, stupid, or dumb, huh? Dumb, stupid, or dumb, huh?
So we just really couldn't afford to let him go. He's the key to the offensive line. He make everything else go. So, with us bringing him back, we're in a good situation. And then we can work on everything. We can get some backups and things of that nature. But the next topic on there is Trenton Simpson and the LBs. And John talked about Trenton Simpson and the LBs. Let's see what he had to say about those guys.
Yeah, I feel great about the linebacker position. I think we do need some guys. I mean, it's we lost a bunch of guys. So we've got to replace those guys. I think we've got some good young guys coming up. William Quemco, nobody knows about him, but he played 2 games last year. I'm kind of excited him as a special teams guy and developing linebacker. But Trenton Simpson, expect him to be the starting early down will. We do a lot on passing downs with dime and different kind of personnel groups in the field. He can continue to grow into that, but I think he's going to take a big step this year. I remember Pat Queen took a big step his 3rd year as well, so that would be probably our expectation. He's working hard, man. He's already in the building every single day. He's watching film on his own. He's in phenomenal shape. I'm sure he could play a game right now. So he cares, and that's where it starts.
Which is a key piece to it. And I think most of them care, so he probably didn't have to say that, but we need Simpson. Oh, Simpson. I put his name together. We need Trenton Simpson to show up and be. Tell you what, we need Trenton Simpson. We need Trent Simpson to. I'm still trying to put his name together. Am I making up a new name for Trent Simpson? We call him Trimson. We need Trenton to show up and for Rowe not to have to worry about him knowing his assignments. And I don't think Trenton didn't know his assignments. I think he had a problem reading keys. And he would be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He'd be jumping the wrong holes. His run reads would be too fast. And what I mean by run reads, instead of popping your feet trying to see if it's run, if you don't know, he'd just shoot the gap or try to shoot a gap and it'd be play action. Or he'd see a puller and not necessarily the guy he's supposed to be reading, and he'll be on the other side of the play and the play coming right at him where he used to be. So it's a lot of little technical stuff that he was having issues with that I saw, and I'm an offensive guy. So if I saw the defensive mistakes that Trenton Simpson was making, mental that is, I know other people saw it. Because I don't care about the dark side. I'm an offensive guy. Even though I know what they do over there, I'm an offensive guy. And I can see the little things he was doing. And the reason I can see is because when I watch tape on defense, when I was actively trying to score on people, you try to find guys that did the stuff Trenton Simpson does and try to manipulate them so you can have better plays. So that's how I was able to see, okay, why both linebackers in the same gap? Or why they got 2 guys not both linebackers, why they got 2 guys in the same gap? Or they got an open front side A when they come out in this look. Just little technical stuff like that you should not be doing on the NFL level. And in his defense, and I've said this plenty of times before, going back to his college days, when Brent Venables was his DC, Brent Venables is now the head coach at Oklahoma. When Venables was his DC, Venables had him playing kind of the slot-ish area, so to speak, and on the edge, and he was an animal, a certified animal. Venables left and went to Oklahoma to be the head coach. They brought in a new DC at Clemson, and they tried to make him a predominantly linebacker. And he didn't suck, but it didn't look as good as it did the year before. And so now we're still molding that guy. So, I ain't going to slam him yet, but just like John said, PQ made drastic steps in his 3rd year. This is Trenton's 3rd year. The glove's going to be off this year. Do your job, but we're going to hammer you. Do your job, but we're going to hammer you. Let's move on to the next topic, which is, let me see, look at my screen. My man, B. Steve, the most hated man in B-More at one point. B. Steve.
That is a secondary from your perspective?
Well, yeah. I mean, Brandon, look what he accomplished. He didn't play defensive back until like his junior and senior year in college. Came in kind of like raw in that sense and became one of the better corners in the league last 2 years. And back until like his junior and senior year in college. Came in kind of like raw in that sense and became one of the better corners in the league.
Stop the cap.
Last 2 years. And for him to get that kind of a contract and a deal, I gotten to know his family really well. His mom went through a situation with his brother, as you remember. For this to happen for him is a blessing, and so we're happy for him. Leaves us, needing a corner, but we got Cheeto, and that was a huge signing for us. So, and he's been one of the highest ranked corners when he's been healthy. So our goal is to get him back out there, get him healthy, really work with all the soft tissue stuff, and try to do the best we can to bring him back to where he at his high level of play. So he should help us. And we got TJ Tampa in the mix. I think TJ is going to take a big step. Health is big for him too. And then Jalen Armour-Davis is another guy with the health.
Jalen Armour-Davis is another guy with the health. Everybody that's here with me, put it in the comment section. What's Jalen Armour-Davis's new name that I gave him?
So Jalen's always been talented, and he's always played well when he's been out there. So those are all guys in the conversation. And then our Darius, Darius can drop down into the nickel spot. So we've gotten answers. We could definitely add a guy in the draft too. So
for him to say that about Brandon Stevens, I commend him for being as gracious and as uplifting as he was about B. Steve, because I really think B. Steve's a good dude. He just had an issue with finding the ball. Just look at the TJ Tampa injuries, Jalen Armour-Davis injuries, Darius up until this year injuries, and we only got 5 corners on the roster, 5 bodies. So he mentioned Darius as being a nickel. So do you want to count that as a 6th? He said we could definitely add a guy in the draft too. I know we could. You better add a guy in the draft. Because with JADIR, you never know. Let me see what Streamlabs done deleted. Hold on, let me go check what Streamlabs did deleted. Oh, I don't know why I deleted you, Marcus. I guess because all caps. Sorry, I might have to go turn that off. I gotta remember to go turn that off. That all caps thing. Cause it be getting stuff for no reason. But I got you, Marcus and CJ. Y'all put it in there. JADIR. I appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna have to go turn it off. I gotta remember to do it because I don't think about it until we actually live. But back to the lecture at hand. And if you old school, you know what song that's from. You youngsters don't know about that.
Going into this.
That's how.
All right, now this one we're gonna talk about the defense and how the defense rebounded. At the end of the year, started off straight trash truck juice. Slowly got better, and then at the end of the year was clicking on all cylinders. And I mean, if you don't think the defense got better at the end of the year, you just a certified hater. That I can't find another way to put it. Well, I could, but I'm trying to keep it PG.
Exactly how it made me feel, Cliff. That's where we begin. I was surprised that we had to I was surprised in the midst of it that we were struggling the way we were, because I just felt like those weren't, you didn't see some of those problems cropping up the way you couldn't anticipate those coverage problems cropping up the way they did. But looking back on it, not so surprised. Just kind of.
Now that little statement right there, when he said looking back on it, I'm not so surprised. I wonder what made him say that. Was it the ability of Eddie and Marcus? Was it the attitude of Eddie and Marcus? Was it the terminology, the calls being too long? Because Zach has, said the calls were too long. I wonder, and if you guys have an idea, put it in the comment section or the chat box later on if you're watching later on. What do you think he meant by saying, looking back on it, I'm not so surprised? Because that's when I was half watching it live because I was at work. That stood out to me. What made you say that? What happened? What did you see in going back and reviewing the film or listen to the calls or whatever to make you say, looking back on it, I'm not so surprised we had them coverage issues? That's interesting to see, or to try to figure out what he meant by that.
What we went through, what we were dealing with, quarterbacks that we played, all those kind of things. But the fact that we were able to get it turned around collaboratively, we got together, we worked on it and got it fixed in a real big way. I was really proud of that.
We talked a little earlier.
Going into this.
Now they definitely got it fixed. Hands down. We started out, and even though like statistically it won't look like we were we got it fixed because we didn't move up a lot. And I remember when I was doing the preview videos, we were like, I want to say like right around 300 yards a game passing. And by the time when they like week 10 and week 11, we got that down to like maybe 250, maybe 240. But we never went down and ranked that much because we were when we were 32, we were beyond 30. We were 32 here, and the 31 team was way down here. So when we slowly started knocking it off, it took us a minute to even get to 31. Then we slowly, we got up to maybe 28 or 27, something like that. But when we were bad, we were trash truck juice bad. But I'm happy they got it fixed, and I hope that's momentum going forward toward next year. I just really hope that is. But the next topic is the status of Mark. Now, I will say this about Mark. Mark has put in a lot of good time with the Baltimore Ravens. It looks like that's going to continue. I don't have nothing bad to say about Mark because we all know what happened in the game. I do have one thing bad to say about Mark. Even when stuff is bad, like when you mess up or you like all the stuff that went on with him in the game, we all know. Grab the microphone, talk to the people. That's all you got to do. Grab the microphone, talk to the people, and I promise you, by now, some people will be a lot less forgiving. Some people, because if Lamar go out there and have a crappy day, he can't avoid it. He can't be in the lock gone by the time the media come in there. He'd be crucified. So yes, you had a S game, and not S tier. Y'all know what I mean. He had an S game. Go to the podium, answer the questions, start the process of healing or whatever it is. I feel like he ran. And to me that say a lot. To me, they say a lot. Let's see what Rave got. Hey, until I fix it, stop typing in all caps. Until I fix it, I ain't fixed it yet, but stop typing in all caps. Rave put Ben Cleveland. He put Ben Cleveland. Let me see what else he got. Hold on. Hello. Oh, Rave said hello. Then he put love y'all. Hey, love you too, big dog. And then he put Ben Cleveland. So I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna take the filter off for it to stop blocking the all caps. Unless we just get people in here. But let me tell you why I did it first. I'm getting on the tangent. I'm sorry. At one point we had people that just spam all cap stuff because maybe they didn't think they were being heard or seen or whatever. But they would just constantly spam all caps. So that's why I put it on there. But I'll definitely take it off because I think those problems are gone now. But I just got to remember to do it. And I'm sorry for getting on a tangent. Let's get back to what he said about Mark Andrews.
Given how his season ended last year.
Yeah, we've been in contact, back and forth. I mean, it's not like guys want to hear from me every day, any of them. It's like, Coach, you call me again, But Mark's in a good place. He's working really hard. I do fully expect him to be playing for us next year. He's just too good a player. Obviously, with any player, there's always that. Any player. It's just coaches, players. It's the National Football League. That's part of the deal with things happening. So I never could say anybody. But Mark would be one of the few guys I would expect not to be here. So we'll see what happens. But I fully expect. My plans are that we've got Mark, we got Isaiah, we got Charlie, we got Pat Ricard, all in place doing all those jobs.
Confirmation. Pat Ricard's a tight end. No, I'm playing. Confirmation. But yeah, man. So it looks like this is what I anticipate happening. Mark playing out the year, and him just moving on. That's what I anticipate happening. Mark playing out 2025, and then he's just free to go do his thing. So yeah, and I don't know how that plays into it, even Lamar. I know he has that, but I don't know how that plays into the weather and whatnot. And I ain't versed in it, so I don't want to speak on it too much. But he definitely he definitely has that to deal with, and that's another reason I like Mark for that reason, because that's tough to do. That's tough to have that and still go out there, practice, meetings, games, and constantly got to be checking that to make sure you're good. Hey, salute to him for that. But in all the good stuff he's done for the Ravens, I still feel like, and I got words for what I feel like he did after the game. I'm just not gonna say them on here because I'm trying to be better about what I say and my approach and my words and things of that nature. Let's move on to the next one. And the last one. This is the last topic we got that I pulled out of it. And it was a ton of stuff in that presser that you can pull out from it. But these are just the things that I took away from it that I enjoyed and that I want to kind of talk to you guys about. So this last one is about Lamar's contract, which we all know. Well, let's just hear what they had to say first, then I'll comment on the back.
We're not supposed to talk to Eric here. Have you guys talked to Lamar at all? I mean, there's a lot being made about his contract again, which is fine this year, but does get up next year. Has there been any effort from the organization to try to, deal with this contract or maybe extend it?
Right. There's been conversations about that internally, I know. How far along that is or whatever, I don't know. But I definitely think it's an obvious point that you're making. That's going to continue to have to be addressed, really, with all those guys. I mean, you just got to kind of manage that dance, the salary cap dance, and Lamar is the main part of that because he's the franchise player. So that's a possibility, I think. Sooner or later, definitely is going to happen.
Is it hard to put a value in one Lamar?
Yeah, I mean the value is the top. When Lamar gets paid, he's going to be the highest paid player in football. Yeah. Just like he was last time. Yeah. I think every contract he signs, probably until he decides to hang up his cleats, he's going to be that guy.
So with that being said, I think it's extremely smart for them to go ahead and get this done. Them to go ahead and make a move, like, hey, Lamar, let's restructure you and make you the highest paid guy, and so maybe that'll buy you 2 or 3 years of not having to worry about it, because the price of the brick is gonna constantly go up, and if you don't get on top of it right now, you're gonna be the one paying that, like even Lamar say, half a billion. If you don't get on it right now, you're gonna be the one paying that half a billion. So it's best to get on it now. And try to do your best to get out in front of this thing and pay it. And then he says, somebody asked him, is it hard to put a value on Lamar Jackson? No, it's not hard. He said, yes, it is hard. He said, yes, the value is the top. But it should have been no, it's not hard because he is the top. He's the cream of the crop. He's done more with less for his, how many years Lamar been in the league? 7, 8? Lamar has done more with less out of anybody. That's a factual statement. If you go look at anybody's roster, all right. So I'll tell you what. If you got free time, go pull up the best record just in the 2020s, and I'm sure the Ravens will be up there. Look at the rosters of the team. Say the top 5 teams. I'm sure the Ravens are top 5. I don't know exactly, but I'm just sure. Just look at the rosters of the other top 5 teams. And I bet you when you compare the 5 rosters in that top 5, the Ravens will have the worst. So he's done more with less every year he's been in the league. This is the first time he's had a bona fide another offensive superstar with him. And that's Derrick Henry. Keep in mind, and Derrick had a great year, but Derrick's still 30, 31. This is the first time he's ever had another, I ain't even say superstar. This is the first time he's had another star with him. Forget superstar. This is the first time he's had another star with him. So, hold on, let me do something real quick. All right. Do me one favor. I had to make sure. I saw the little emojis go through the screen. I was like, they look kind of small. We need these emojis to be bigger. Throw an emoji or 2 in there so I can make sure it work right. They need to be bigger. But back on the subject, Lamar needs to be the guy. You need to go ahead and pay him now because the money's only gonna go up and up and up and up. And I know the cap's gonna go up too, but Lamar's gonna need other players on the team. He's gonna need some other competent, good players on the team to get us to the chip and win multiple chips. So get out in front of it now, and that'll buy you 2 or 3 years of, we paid him in 2025, so at least let us get to 2028 before it pop off. So maybe I got to reset it. I see. Appreciate the emojis. Maybe I got to reset it. They normally be bigger than that, but we'll figure it out. So with that being said, man, that's what I took away from General Harbaugh's presser. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comments. And if you're here now, because I'm finna close off of it. If you got any issues about what he said or anything that I said, or you just want to chit chat and talk about it, hey, put it in the comment section. I go through the comment section on a regular basis all the time and reply and have great conversation. Now I will say this. If you have a comment, don't make it too long. Don't make it real long. I'm gonna just don't make it real long. Let's see. King of the Seas just dropped 5. He said, "Hood Harbaugh better act right. Why the F we ain't give the ball to Henry for the 2?" Hey, that's a good question, King of the Seas. That's a great question, especially with the day Mark was having. With the day Mark was having, that might not have been the guy that I want to throw to. If anything, Mark should have been the decoy and throw the ball to 80. Or like you said, give it to Henry. I just thought about this, Hood, King of the Seas, I'm sorry. Would that have been the perfect time for the Derrick Henry jump pass? Maybe. When Derrick lined up at the quarterback? Maybe. No, because then you take the ball in Lamar's hands. So, no, I'm tripping. No. Can't take the ball to 8 hands. Anything but throw the ball to Mark. Anything but throw the ball to Mark. But I appreciate the 5, King of the Seas, man. And, hey, that's what I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world. There will be no mock draft Monday because we had this stuff to talk about. So there will be no mock draft Monday. And y'all been here for 30 minutes. That's about 10 or 15 minutes longer than I expected to keep y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. Sign up for the Patreon. Become a member. Donate. Super chat. Thanks and all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love. Wipe your feet at the door. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, MJ. Hey, I'm finna go check that stuff out too, MJ. I'm finna go right now. You need to.